5 inmates have been captured. They have been doing a really good job trying to get these inmates from the New Orleans jail. 10 inmates escaped. First 11, 10 because of the era. Now 5 as of the 21st of May. Now 5 are remaining, ladies and gentlemen. Now, these 5 individuals that are left over, they are dangerous. The most recent one that they just finished capturing is Corey Boyd. Now, he is dangerous, and I'm glad that they got him off, but now it just remain these 5. As you can see, the letters over their face means that they've captured, Corey Boyd being the most recent one. I mean, this is fantastic news, but 5 left. It's still not good, considering the fact that it is the facility's mistake, the sheriff's mistake, the workers there who assisted them. You know, the maintenance worker. This is Corey Boyd, was just captured. Now, this maintenance worker literally had a job of shutting off this water so they could remove that toilet so they can get the heck out of that cell. And they did a good job. They were successful. Now, the other 3 workers are suspended. We covered this in my last podcast, but with this up-to-date information, 5 left. They better get them quick because they're going to find out that, hey, they getting these people, these inmates one by one. And these law enforcement officers, they're doing a good job getting them successfully. Let's get into some detail of this new inmate that's been captured. What I need for you guys to do is hit the like, subscribe. Welcome to the Investigate True Crime Podcast, also trending topics. I'm your host, Nov Cross. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share this information out. I would appreciate that so much. Let's get into these details because this is getting quite interesting. Quite interesting. I would have never thought that they would get them this quick. I mean, these guys are just literally sleeping on the street, hiding in homes. Please get a plan. Get a plan. Honestly, if you're going to escape jail.
A 5th Orleans Parish jail escapee is back in custody tonight. Authorities caught Corey Boyd about an hour ago in the 1400 block of Iberville in Treme. The search continues for the 5 others. Good evening, I'm John Snell.
And I'm Lauren McCoy. Our Gabby Killett was there as Boyd was walked out in handcuffs. And now there's a large police presence on North Galvez Street in the St. Roch neighborhood. And that's where a source tells us that they are searching for another escapee.
Gabby Killett is live with the latest.
Again, John, Lauren, as you said, we are here in the 2200 block of North Galvez Street, where a source does tell me that they are potentially closing in on 26-year-old Lenton Van Buren. Now, let me move out the way here for a moment so you can take a close look at the scene. There's a helicopter in the sky shining a bright light. It looks like there's drones up as well. And police really just closing in on this specific house in the 2200 block of North Galvez Street. Again, Lenton Van Buren would be the 6th inmate captured if he is brought back into custody, and we're monitoring it here. Van Buren was arrested in connection with the November 2021 homicide investigation, and along with the 9 other men, escaped the Orleans Justice Center Friday when police say a maintenance worker cut off water to a cell and 10 inmates climbed through a hole behind a toilet sink unit. Now, I'll just come back on camera and tell you that. Just stay tuned here. Hopefully we'll have more information on whether Van Buren is captured. Thank you. Gabby Killett, Fox 8 Local First.
All right.
That's crazy. See that? You see that? They got him. India Jackson says, I live in New Orleans. People are playing part. India Jackson, I have been trying to place a bet on Poly Market. I can't do that because it's not available in America, and Kalshi doesn't have it. I don't know how to bet a parlay. I've been looking all over. Nobody, I can't. If you could find out for me, please let me know, India. I would appreciate it. But yeah, people are placing bets by Friday if they're going to be captured. Like, that's how, this is how serious it's getting. It's actually crazy.
We do have.
But let's keep up with the details. Let's keep this going. I got more information to show you, some video footage, some photos. I want to keep this information flowing so we can better understand this. And also, I want to get some information on the 3 other workers that have been suspended. I've been trying to dig on this, trying to get into some personal Facebooks if I can. I'm going to keep digging for you guys. Novesity, this is what we do. We get the details and the facts. Let's keep watching, guys.
Have to switch gears here to a bit of breaking news. This is a story that we've been following since it first broke last Friday. 10 inmates who escaped from a jail in New Orleans. Another one has been captured.
Another one, guys. I think that's Boyd. Jazz, are you trying to bet me right now?
Put this up on your screen. This is a tweet that we have there from the Louisiana State Police saying that the 5th fugitive arrested, it's an escaped inmate. Law enforcement agencies working collectively to locate the inmates who escaped from the New Orleans Parish Correctional Facility back on May 16th. They've now arrested 19-year-old Corey Boyd, and that's the picture that they had there of that arrest taking place. Also hearing from the Attorney General there in Louisiana saying captured inmate Corey Boyd is now back in custody. He was originally incarcerated on charges of second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, and aggravated battery. He will now face additional charges related to that escape. And so we wanted to bring, if you've been following this story closely, we know that Louisiana State Police have been recapturing those inmates who did escape there from the jail. Again, Corey Boyd there on your screen, he is the 5th to be caught. He was briefly spotted last Friday, hours after the jailbreak happened in the French Quarter on surveillance camera video. Boyd, though, is accused of killing Brandon Fees during a car burglary back in 2024.
See, these are hard criminals, ladies and gentlemen. These are hard. And we got to get them off the street. And hey, they could be connected to crimes that we haven't even discovered yet. Think about it. But I'm glad we got another one.
Another one.
That's right. And next, we're going to get one today. And then tomorrow. And then
another one.
Best to believe that.
Boyd, though,
Jazz, I'll let you know. I got you. I'm going to do my research and I got you.
Has since been taken into custody by a task force that surrounded an apartment building there in the city. His recapture leaves 5 fugitives still on the loose just 4 days after they escaped that New Orleans jail. I want to put this up on your screen. These are some of those other inmates who are still at large at this point.
Okay, so let's talk about the inmates that are still at large. Okay, Corey Boyd, he's been caught. I don't know why they have him there. Now, wait, what? Derek? Wait, I thought we caught Derek. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait, they got the information wrong. Wait a minute. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on, chat. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. What the fuck? Wait a minute, chat. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Derek Groves is still... Wait a minute.
A search for the remaining 6 people who escaped.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Derek Groves is... This is probably one of the most dangerous ones.
From the
Isn't this the guy? Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I remember him being the most dangerous one. Oh my gosh. I thought he was captured. No. Oh, no. Not good. Not good, chat. This is not good. Not good at all. Okay. Well, we learn. Okay. Yippee, please stop spamming. I would appreciate that.
This is what those New Orleans police officers have put out, again, except for Corey Boyd, who's at the bottom there on the left-hand side of your screen. The rest of these 5 are still on the loose. That includes Jermaine Donald, as well as Leo Tate, Linton Van Buren, Antoine Massey, and Derek Groves. So several of those are facing serious charges as well, including for Linton Van Buren's second-degree murder and armed robbery. He is still awaiting.
Look at this. These guys murdered people, except for 2, Antoine and Leo, but still. These are like, guys, these are criminals, and they still out there. This is terrible. This is actually terrible. Nah, this ain't good, chat. This is not good. Not good at all.
Trial at this point. Jermaine Donald also arrested on second-degree murder charges. And so we'll continue to keep you updated here on Live Now from Fox as we learn more information and more of these inmates are taken into custody. So we also know that a bit earlier today, we did hear from the Attorney General as well. That Attorney General talking about the man that they say was a New Orleans jail maintenance worker who was arrested, now being held on a $1.1 million bond after admitting that he turned off the water to a toilet that covered a hole in a cell wall. This allowed those 10 men to squeeze through the gap of one of the largest jailbreaks there in recent U.S. history. Putting this up on your screen, that's the face of the person that has now been arrested. We do want to continue on with this. Of course, we do know that those inmates there during that escaped by yanking open a faulty cell door, moving the.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want everyone to look at one of the most biggest idiots in 2025. Let's give a round of applause to the land before time dinosaur looking idiot right here. Congratulations. 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 I'm going to say it again. You decided to lose your job and go to jail, and now you're a felon to shut off water. That's what your job was, right? That's what you wanted to do? To help people escape that wasn't going to give you anything. What do they have? What can they threaten you with? Congratulations. You're a full-blown artard. I can't say the word, but you're an artard. Congratulations. And now, if these criminals do anything on the street, hurt or threaten anyone, you're in deeper shit. Deeper.
Toilet, and then were able to exit through that hole. Graffiti on the wall included the message "Too easy" with an arrow and an LOL pointing.
Sterling Williams' total bond amount is set to $1.1 million for each charge he is facing. Holy chicken noodles. Wow.
To that gap. Putting that up on your screen as well. We'll get back to that tweet there from the Attorney General. But that's the image that has been going viral ever since. That's the hole where those inmates were able to escape. Of course, we now know that 5th person has been arrested. 5 more still on the loose. And again, as it pertains to that other arrest of the maintenance worker, we do know that his name is Sterling Williams, and he's now being held on a bond amount at $1.1 million. Attorney General Murrill is saying that it's $100,000 for each charge that he is now facing. Saying at the bottom, if you are helping any of these escaped inmates in any way, you too will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Wanted to get that story in for you here on Live Now from Fox. We'll continue to keep you updated. If we have any other updates, any more of those inmates capture, leaving you though with this live look there in New Orleans, there in the Big Easy. We'll slide away now for a 2-minute break.
Damn. That's crazy, man. That is, guys, I thought he was captured already, but I was mistaken. Huh. Interesting.
This is a story that we've been following since it first broke last Friday. 10 inmates who escaped from a jail in New Orleans. Another one has been captured. I want to put this up on your screen. This is a tweet that we have there from the Louisiana State Police saying that the fifth fugitive arrested. It's an escaped inmate. Law enforcement agencies working collectively to locate the inmates who escaped from the New Orleans Parish Correctional Facility.
Chat, let me ask you a question. Who you think is next? Who you think is next, chat? Hey, Jazz, I might take your offer on that. Jazz, I may take your offer on that. You think Derek is going to be last? I don't think so. I think the next one is going to be Lenton. I think it's going to be, oh yeah, Leo, he don't look all right. Let me see, Leo, yeah, you don't look good, bro. You might be next. Yeah, you don't look too good. Let me tell you who's going to be next. It's going to be Antoine. It's going to be him. I think it's going to be Antoine. I think it's going to be him. I think it's going to be him, Jermaine for last. I think so too. I think Jermaine's going to be last. Jermaine or Linton, whatever you spell it. All right, so Jazz, if he gets captured any other times, then I win, and you have to send that immediately. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But all jokes aside, let's put that to the side for a sec. Let's just pray for real and hope that these people don't harm, these inmates don't harm, anyone. We don't want that. That's something that we do not want. I take that seriously because innocent children, women, and men out there minding their business, and these full-blown idiots out there hurting people to get what they need money. They need resources. And how are they going to do that? They're not going to get a fucking job. They're not going to go to McDonald's. Hey, sir. Hey, can I, They're not going to do that, guys. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're not. They're not going to go to fucking McDonald's and be like, hi, manager. Yeah, can I get a job in your wonderful establishment? I love McDonald's. I'm not an escapee, no. By the way, can I get a large fries? They're not going to do that. They're going to try their best to rob people, take advantage of them, and get resources, steal cars. They're going to do that. So let's hope that they don't do that. For real.
10 escaped inmates in New Orleans are still on the loose, but someone new is behind bars, 33-year-old maintenance worker Sterling Williams. According to Louisiana Attorney General, Williams said he turned off the water in the cell before the men removed a toilet and a sink, cut through the steel bars, and then just slipped out. Williams says one of the escapees, Antoine Macy, threatened to shank him if he didn't do it, and another tried to steal his phone. Here with me now is someone who knows manhunts better than anyone, Dwayne Chapman, a.k.a. Dog, the bounty hunter. Dog, good to see you. Your take on this crazy story.
Well, there's a lot of different things. Number one, what is 10 felons doing in one cell? How did they ever get out of there without anyone watching them? So I think that far, not seeing surveillance, all that, I think it is definitely an inside job.
Well, so the maintenance worker admitted to turning off the water, but essentially is saying he did so under duress or threat. Now, why he wouldn't have just gone to someone and said, these guys are threatening me, that makes zero sense to me.
Absolutely. And how, if they're going to shank him, they're supposed to search the cell, especially that biggest cell, every single day. So how did anyone even have a shank? It's a lot different, like a county city jail than prison. So how did they, how'd they get it in there?
Is there any reason whatsoever in today's day and age with surveillance capability, all the high-tech surveillance we have, even in prisons that are under a lot of stress, and this was because overcrowded, obviously, is there any reason this should ever happen?
No, I've heard from a lot of people down there that it's a very poor, they don't have the money to do anything. They keep cutting their funding, and taking away what they got. So when you do that, this is exactly what's going to happen. 10 men together, all violent, most of them gun charges. You start sitting in the cell and planning, and some of them sit there for almost a year before they're given a preliminary hearing. So I don't know what's going on down there. It's absolutely insanity.
Now, I saw Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana, last night at the White House, and we talked for a few minutes about this, but I can tell you he wants answers. Apparently, Dog, it's not the first escape that one of these criminals has been part of. 2019, a jail in Northeast Louisiana. Macy's, the one who allegedly threatened to shank that janitor, cut through a chain link fence, hopped into a car driven by an accomplice, and then was later found in the day 300 miles away in Texas. So he has some experience in this.
Yes. And I don't know if he's the oldest one. The oldest one was somewhere in their 40s. And, he's the one running the show. And a lot of those guys, some of them's 19 years old, 21, 22. They don't know anything about anything. So, I feel sorry for them when they get caught, because they just added many more years. Well, a lot of them would never have gotten out of prison anyway. But it's a shame that police, sheriffs, jails are treated like this, because this is what's going to happen.
Do you believe that they instantly separated? Break up the group? I mean, obviously there's too many people in one group to be able to hide, but they just went their separate ways?
Well, usually what they do is, they'll pair up. 2 or 3 will go, and then they'll have, in a few days, meet us at, some restaurant or they have a meeting place. But no, they don't all just, all split and go separate ways, or the cops would have caught them. Somewhere, some way, somebody is hiding the majority of them, okay? They're not all squatting in homes like they caught the guy today. So, it's terrible, terrible.
All right, Dog, thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
And let me tell you something. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of Dog the Bounty Hunter because of what he did in his recent past. I don't care. But what he just said in this video, spot on, man. Spot on. He's correct. It's true, guys. I know that the sheriff and the people are responsible, but they didn't have that much proper funding. That's true, guys. I'm not here to be biased. I'm here to give you the correct information, regardless of anything. He's right about that. They didn't get the proper funding. Should they have made multiple requests? Absolutely. But additionally, people, they're going to get, one of them out of 10 are going to get help from either family, friends, or something. Now, not every single inmate's family is going to agree with this. They have been protesting, saying to the media, son, nephew, turn yourself in. So good job, family members that are against this, regardless if they're your family, because you don't want to be part of the situation and go to jail. Now, there is some implications. There are some family members that are harboring criminals that are related to these inmates. It is true. And the law enforcement here are looking into that. It's not only the workers, it's family members who assisted this, and they will be dealt with. I can't say that word. You're not smart people. Why would you do that? Don't jeopardize yourself over people who made decisions that you wouldn't make. They killed people. They robbed people. They threatened people. Stop harboring criminals who did devious crimes in which you know you wouldn't do that. Why do that? Come on now. Now about the sheriff to resign. The sheriff that should have told the public this. Nothing is more important than the people who not only fund you, who help you, but who also could be harmed by these individuals. Let's take a look at this video, chat. By the way, let's hit the like button. We have almost 400 people watching, but 130 likes on YouTube. You hurt me. Facebook, can we get 20 shares? Please hit that share button for me, guys. If you're brand new, hit the subscribe button. We cover true crime and trending topics. This is exactly what we're talking about. Trending topic today. 5 left and 5 captured. Who's next? Place your bets. Let's keep it going.
Made another arrest in the Great Escape in New Orleans, but it isn't one of the 10 escapees. 33-year-old Sterling Williams is a maintenance worker at the Orleans Parish Justice Center. He's sitting in jail tonight facing 10 counts related to Friday's escape. You could tell from this photo that the inmates got out by removing a toilet and a sink from a cell wall. But notice there's no water flooding the floor. That's because Williams allegedly shut off the water to the cell beforehand, according to the arrest affidavit. Williams told investigators that one of the inmates, Antoine Massey, threatened to, quote, shank him if he didn't turn off the water.
Maintenance worker. You want me to believe, right? Just hear me out. You want me to believe that one of these criminals was threatening to shank you, in which you have the power to go in and out any door. You have the power. You know what? Let me put your face up because you piss me off. You piss me off. One thing I don't like is a liar. I don't like liars. I don't do those. We don't do that here. Where's your face? I want to see your face. Show me that face. I don't like liars, dude. I can't stand that shit. I think you're lying. And I don't call people out liars. I don't like doing that because I don't have the proof. But I think you're a liar. Let me put your mug on my screen. I think you're a liar. And let me tell you why. You have the power, right? To be like, hey, this guy is going to shank me. Can I work at a different floor? Can I work at different times? You have access, right, to different parts of this facility in which they don't. My guy, you can literally be like, hey, this guy's going to shank me, but I need to do it. They can separate him or other people. My guy, you can literally not work there. Your life, my guy, now you're going to be with him in there. Oh my God. Now you now he can shake you anytime he wants. You're I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But it's like, yo, like, is common sense not like you make me feel so spectacular. Like I'm intelligent. I feel like Leonardo da Vinci. Like my IQ is 200 because I know I would never make a mistake like this. Now you're going to be with them. You're going to, dude, it's what you did it goes beyond stupid. This is mediocre level. Like this is really IQ 1 stuff. He's going to shake me if I don't shut off the water. I don't believe that. Not one. You know what it is? I don't think you're this stupid. No, I don't. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I don't think you're this stupid. I think that you're saying this as a cop-out for us to feel better. You get a lesser sentence. But here's your biggest downfall. You want me to tell you? You added on a blame to a criminal that you may be next door with now, that he's going to listen and hear that. He's going to be like, well, you just told them that I was going to shank you? You lied to them, you mother trucker? You mother flucker? You just lied to them? You lied, and now you're in double trouble. You double homicide, because now he's going to shank you inside. You're done. You did something stupid. You should have took your L and be like, I fucked up. I plead guilty. Now you're this is so stupid. You should have just never did it.
To the arrest affidavit.
He's not in the same jail. Regardless, don't do it. It doesn't. Regardless, don't do it. And now people from the other jail are going to know he snitched. Doesn't matter. You're done.
Williams told investigators that one of the inmates, Antoine Massey, threatened to, quote, shank him if he didn't turn off the water. Massey and 5 other convicts are still at large, and they are considered armed and dangerous. The New Orleans chief
Don't count this, guys. He's been captured right here, okay?
of police says those inmates are still believed to be within the city limits. The 4 they've already rounded up may have found it too easy to get out of jail, as they wrote on the jail cell wall, but not easy enough, apparently, to leave the city. And in addition to that maintenance worker, 4 other employees at the jail have been suspended. It's unclear whether that includes the lone guard who was monitoring the prisoners and who stepped away to get food as those prisoners broke free. At a city council meeting earlier today, Sheriff Susan Hutson, who oversees the jail, took full responsibility for the escape, but she also blamed the failure on insufficient funding.
Okay, now I'm going to get to this part. Lady, I give you my respect. She owned up to it. That I like. That I like. Second thing, owning up to a mistake doesn't fix it. Let's talk about it. I have grown so much. Like, I have lived my life as a grown man, going through so many issues in life that I realized that some of y'all may not agree with me on this, but it's what I believe in, and just take it as it is. Owning up to things and saying sorry doesn't fix a situation, even if it was the first mistake. Sometimes the first mistake is your downfall. Sorries, excuses, buts, and because could be for people who are either weak or incompetent. Sorries with a badge like what she has, a responsibility, what she has, is not enough, in my opinion. And I don't agree. No. In my opinion, do I think she should step down? Maybe. And I'm going to say maybe because it's true, guys. That I can admit they don't have proper funding. They don't. And I don't know why the fuck is wrong with the government not giving these facilities proper funding. Guys, it is true. I have done my research. I looked into it. They were telling the truth. They don't have proper funding. But what they should do is put priority funding. Shit, we do it, right? We know what to pay, right? We know to pay the light bill before paying the phone bill. We know to pay rent before eating. We know this. It's common sense. Let's talk about it.
It is deeply troubling to me as your sheriff, and I know it is equally troubling to you and the public that we are sworn to protect. As your sheriff, I take full accountability for this failure. We have submitted multiple requests over the years for staffing, maintenance, and infrastructure upgrades needed to safely run this jail. Unfortunately, time and deferred investment have caught up with us all.
My first guest tonight is calling on that sheriff to resign. She says blaming funding for this incident is a deflection, not an explanation. Louisiana State Representative Amy Adato Freeman joins me now. Representative, you're the first state official to publicly call on the sheriff to step down. Why do you think she needs to resign?
Well, the reason I think she needs to resign is her lack of accountability and her grand failure of leadership. It's embarrassing.
I'm sorry, I don't know who this lady is, but she literally just took accountability, ma'am. I don't know what you're talking about. Sugar Wife, thank you for saying, hi, Nove. How are you, brother? I hope you have a fun weekend. Thank you. I am getting better. I was badly sick, and I'm like 65% better right now. So thank you, Sugar Wife.
Embarrassing to me that she has one job, which is to keep the inmates in the jail and keep the rest of us safe. And right now, I know families who've had to move out of the state and into hiding because they're either witnesses or their attorneys who prosecuted some cases against some of these inmates. And it's just horrific to me that your job is to keep the general population safe and you're not doing it. So I think she should resign.
Yeah, Sheriff Hutson, as you just heard in that soundbite, blames a lack of funding for the jail as playing a role in this. She says a third of the security cameras don't work, that the locks on the doors are insufficient. She says she's been asking for more funds to make the jail more secure, but was denied. Is that true?
Well, in my experience, her team has asked me for funding for some programming for domestic violence, and I just added some things to the budget for her office, but no one ever mentioned to me that there were broken cameras or there were doors that didn't function properly. So if she needed...
Wait a minute. Whoa. What? Are we witnessing some drama? Are we witnessing some drama in the local state rep? Hold on. Wait a minute. Guys, this is some tea. Hold on. Yo, this is crazy. Yo, hold on. Wait, what?
Things to the budget for her office, but no one ever mentioned to me that there were broken cameras or there were doors that didn't function properly. So if she needed that funding, she didn't ask me for it, and we're in the budgeting process, and I sit on House Appropriations.
You said actually she has $14 million in reserve. Why wasn't she spending that on fixing the cameras and the locks?
Exactly. She could use that money and leverage those funds and bond them out. I mean, there's a lot of ways to run a budget. I'm on the budgeting committee. I run my own business. I understand budgeting. Clearly, the sheriff doesn't understand budgeting, or she would have budgeted for infrastructure first. Infrastructure is critical.
That's what I told you guys. I told you this yesterday. She should have put priority on infrastructure. I literally said this on the podcast yesterday.
Here.
Federal monitors who came in and took a look at this jail last year twice warned of serious problems at the jail under Sheriff Hutson's leadership. They said the jail was understaffed, that high-risk inmates were not segregated and kept separate from the general population. They also found that inmates were often left completely unsupervised in their cells. Why wasn't any of this fixed after?
Guys, can I please get your attention for a second? I don't mean to pause this. You want to know how I know this is an inside job? I call this from the beginning. And you want to know something? Can I say something? Watch this. I'm about to blow some of you guys' mind. I told you guys, right? The lady left for lunch, right? She left for lunch. She came back. She didn't witness. She didn't say anything until the head count at 8:30, right? In the morning. So I'm like, that doesn't make sense because let's just say she physically everyone don't look in the cells, right? They house a lot of people. Security systems will trigger. It'll tell you. It will tell you. If you look at your level, in that level, each cell block, it'll tell you B100B, B100, B1008, B1007, 6, 5, 4, cell B10013, and it'll tell you unlocked or not locked. It'll tell you. So I'm like, why nobody talked about this? I told y'all, please go look at the podcast. Go. So I'm like, it tells you, it'll prompt you in the system. Hey, this door is open. So if girl who went to go get her sandwich and go whatever she did to come back and be like, hey, this cell block is open. It'll tell you. You don't believe me? Have a look. I'll let you guys have a look at this for a sec. Have a look what's on your screen. You can see PROP, that is prop per cell number, on that whole level is B level. That whole thing, red, means unlocked. So wait a minute. Now you're probably wondering, hey, no, it doesn't matter. They went through the back. No. In the video, they were jamming up that door from the back. They were trying to open that cell. Open it up. It was partially open, which means it was unlocked. I mean, did that not trigger an alarm, an alert to tell you that cell number B1014 was unlocked? How you didn't see that till 8:30 in the morning? Huh? Clocked you, didn't I? Clocked you, didn't I? Clocked you, didn't I? How you didn't see that the whole time? You went to go get food, but you came back, right? Isn't this the desk where you work at, where you monitor 24/7? Look at that. And you have cameras. You didn't see the door unlocked? The system didn't tell you that one beeping red notice that, hey, this cell is unlocked. It flashes red. You didn't see that the whole time? Either you ain't doing your job right or you assisted them. You failed. All of this, fire everyone. I don't care. Everyone gots to go. Because they truly, how would you know who helped or who didn't? I mean, you find the guy shutting off the water, right? But damn, you mean the girl that couldn't watch a damn screen? She really? Screw you.
Cells. Why wasn't any of this fixed after not one but two of these reports last year?
I wish I knew the answer to that, because this is why I think
there it is. Automatic. All doors are locked in the control of a button.
Should resign. If you've already been given the instructions on how to fix the jail, you should fix it. You shouldn't be, waiting till tell everybody that you don't have the money. She really should be taking responsibility. I understand today at the city council hearing, I was in Baton Rouge for House action and for voting in the House floor, but I understand she did do some acceptability and apology, but she can't be blaming others. The buck stops with her. She is the sheriff.
The inmates who escaped exploited some of the very problems that the federal monitors warned about. The feds wrote in the fall of last year that they, quote, strongly urged the sheriff's office to reestablish a high security unit. Yet all the inmates, many of whom were, convicted killers, they were the very definition of high security risk. They were not in a high security unit. They were instead housed on the first floor of the jail, making it very easy for them to escape.
Yes, and I think that's a horrible way to manage it. I mean, I've actually heard interviews with the former sheriff, Murrill Gussman, and they generally, when he was running that building, they did not put those people on the first floor, the high risk. And so, she's mismanaging at every level, and that's why I think she should resign.
Do you think other public officials in your state will follow your lead and ask for her resignation?
I'm not sure, but I do know for a fact that Jason Hughes, who represents part of New Orleans, he represents the New Orleans East area, he came to the House floor with me today. So there's another Orleans Parish representative, Jason Hughes, who has now joined me in calling for her resignation. And he also, like me, is a Democrat who represents...
Look at that. The door is open. The door is open. Look, it's always opening. It's opening, chat.
New Orleans. And we went to the House floor to tell our colleagues that the two of us feel like she should resign.
And finally, you mentioned in your first answer about the fact that so many of the witnesses who had testified in these escaped inmates' trial proceedings, the prosecutors who had prosecuted these men, they have left the state and gone into hiding. How big a safety issue is this for the public at large?
Okay. What are we doing, Jazz? What are we doing? You think it's going to be the last one?
In New Orleans and the surrounding areas.
Well, this could be huge. I mean, you know, we have a lot of senior citizens. We've had carjackings against senior citizens. I'm really worried about where these inmates might go. I mean, we now have a $20,000 reward for any information leading to the capture of each inmate, which I hope will help in finding them. But right now, the fear is, you know, we have a lot of older women who go to church daily, and they're not going to their church services because they're afraid something might happen to them with these kind of people running through the street.
Thank you for watching.
Chat. I know somebody said that what is it? Alcatraz, right? I know you guys said send them to Alcatraz, which is not even open. And that's going to cost a lot of money. To even if Donald Trump even does that, that's going to cost so much time and money. But let's just say it does. Let's just say it so happens. You may not think it's possible to escape Alcatraz, but it has happened. In 1962, 3 inmates, June 11th, 1962, Frank, Clarence, and John, I don't know. First name Frank, another man named Clarence, and John, something like that. 3 inmates escaped Alcatraz. 3. And still to this day, they vanished. One of the greatest escapes, one of them, you can say, of all time. Still to this day, we don't know where they are. Crazy shit, right? You'd be very surprised what people are capable of. Look what happened, guys. 10 inmates in one cell, in a little hole. I'm just saying, never say never. You'd be very surprised of what desperate people can do to escape. Be very surprised. All right, let's keep it going.
News overnight in the New
Let's talk about this 5th person.
Orleans jailbreak. A 5th fugitive was caught as a maintenance worker at the correctional facility, faces charges for helping the 10 inmates escape. Faith Abube is in New Orleans with the latest. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, George. That 5th escaped inmate was captured last night at his grandmother's apartment, but a source tells ABC that it doesn't appear that the grandmother knew that she was harboring a fugitive.
Overnight, another fugitive on the run from the New Orleans jailbreak captured. This as authorities expand the investigation into whether the massive security breach was an inside job. A 4th jail employee now suspended, another booked into jail, accused of helping the inmates by shutting off water to this toilet so the group could escape through a hole behind the wall.
10 violent offenders don't make their escape through concrete, rebar, and barbed wire without there being some sort of inside assistance.
According to court documents, Sterling Williams confessed to investigators, claiming he did it because one of the inmates threatened to shank him.
If he was under threat, then he certainly should have brought that to someone else's attention.
Nearly a week since the jailbreak, 5 of the 10 escapees still on the run.
Wait a minute, what was that?
Nearly a week since the...
That's 2 of them. That's Derek. Wait a minute. That's Derek and this is
jailbreak.
That's him right there. That's Leo.
Break 5 of the...
Yeah, that's him and Derek. That's these 2.
10 escapees still on the run. New surveillance video showing 3 of the fugitive inmates in an alley. An hour after they all escaped. One of them, convicted killer Derek Groves.
He's proven he's willing to kill.
Meantime, victims of the fugitive...
All right, Jazz. We got a bet. Deal. Wait, but before I do that, why are you betting on him, though? I'm just curious.
Inmates on edge, one of them opening up about his concerns while asking ABC to only use his voice.
I was thinking about getting out of town because this guy could come back and look for my address and come in and shoot me, on a couch.
That is so sad that these victims of these people, the guys, I'm talking about victims, these people that attacked them, killed their family members and friends, victims. This guy was scared that they had to literally be like, okay, we're going to take you and put you somewhere else. Imagine the state displacing you to somewhere else That's kind of embarrassing. But it's like damn, like that's scary. Yeah, you know? Knowing that the person who offed one of your friends or family members or committed a crime against you, you snitched, you was a witness to this, you were testis. You said, hey, this is the guy. And now that guy who saw you or remembers you is free. Yeah, you're going to fucking get the fuck out of Dodge. Absolutely. This is serious, chat. Very serious. Let me take the time, guys, to say if you are new, guys, hit the like and subscribe button. It takes a second, guys. Like, it takes a quick second. Hit the like, thumbs up. It's on YouTube. And subscribe. It's red. If it's red, you haven't subscribed. Click that red button. Also, you can become a member. You can become a member and join the Novicity Nation Confederation. This is your vacation staycation. Join the family and get your badge and be glad. Look at all the beautiful badges in the chat on YouTube, even on Facebook. Join us and become part of the family. Okay, that's enough. Sorry, I had to drop the formalities. Sorry.
Well, Robin, the suspects are moving too quickly from one hiding place to another. But investigators say the public is helping, including an Uber driver who picked up at least one of the fugitives and then tipped off investigators. Robin.
Hopefully the public will continue to help. All right. Faith, thank you.
The public can help. I hate that. I don't like that. They begging the public for help. Yet you want us to be safe, but yet you give us $2,000 a head. That's not enough. And I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy. But let me tell you something. These people make no sense. You indulge us with money, and that's going to prompt people to go look for them, but yet you care about our safety? You care about reputation. That's what you care about. You guys care about reputation. We did it first. We did it. You guys don't notice that? I'm calling them out. You guys don't notice that, have you? Have you been paying attention for all these years we've been doing podcasts? You know what they do first? Ladies and gentlemen, first off, as soon as the presser starts, I want to thank our law enforcement. I want to thank our our officer, this. Shout out to them putting their lives first. Absolutely. But the people who actually get the reputation is the civilians that actually did the job. They did it for you because they call 911 and they'll tell you, hey, I saw a guy that he looks just like, or the old lady, oh, there's some man out my window and he looks just like on channel 47. He looks just like that guy I saw. They deserve the credit because 8 out of 10 times, that's what you get your information from. 911 tips, FBI tips. It's the public. They literally put in the work more than they put in work, bro. Give them the respect. Honestly, dude, they don't do that.
That's all right. Yeah, do you want us to start asking you questions or do you want to say something first?
Yeah, I'll say I'm not going to, there's not too much I'm going to share right now. Today was a visit to the crime scene. And we toured the facility, the AG and myself. We were able to ask some questions and actually see up close and personal the space, the surrounding space, and the fence where the escape was made. Whether it's a murder case, a rape case, or a jailbreak, prosecutors always need to take a look at the crime scene themselves.
Based on what you saw in there, should the sheriff resign?
I'm not getting into that right now. This is, I'm just doing my job right now. You've got the AG looking at a number of things from the number of inmates that are here that should be taken into state custody if possible, looking at issues with regard to consent decree. My focus is on a crime that occurred in Orleans Parish and who participated in it.
Well, what was your impression on what you saw?
I'm not going to comment on it now. This is information gathering as we do at any crime scene. If the crime scene is available, you go to it, you observe it. That's what today was.
Has the selling question been fixed?
That funding is necessary from what you saw?
It's not my job.
Has the selling question been fixed or patched up?
Execution or compromise the work that the AG is trying to get done here.
Oh, boy. It has happened. Hold on. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Are we good, chat? Are we good? Sorry about that. Are we good? Yeah? Cool. All right, let's get back.
You mentioned that we know that there's been one arrest in this. Who, in the end, in your eyes, is responsible for this?
Certainly more than one person, but we won't get into that right now.
Does the jail feel well staffed today?
Boom. There it is. We just got confirmation. Thank you for saying that information. Certainly more than one person. Thank you for saying that. Now we know. More arrests are coming, chat. More arrests. Bring them in. Bring them. Bring them in. Bring them. Bring them in.
Issues in there that we've heard a lot about.
I'm not going to get into those questions right now. This was a crime scene visit for me for a case that is under investigation and review by my office.
Does the jail feel well staffed today?
I'm not going to get into that.
Dude, are you going to answer any questions?
Saw the pictures before you went in. What you saw with your own eyes. What's your reaction to that?
I wasn't coming here to get a reaction. I came here today to gather information, to view the crime scene, to see it for myself. It's one thing to see camera shots and pictures, but I wanted to see exactly where they were able to scale the wall, what door they went out of, how it was secured. I wanted to see the back portion of that toilet area so we can understand how it was defeated, so we can figure out who all was involved in this jailbreak, who assisted, who knew, and when. This is just the beginning of that inquiry.
Did the sheriff join you during this?
Did any of that?
Wait a minute. Wait. Wait a minute. An Uber what? Wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm not going to get into those questions right now. This was a crime scene visit for me for a case that is under investigation and review by my office.
Does the jail feel well staffed today?
I'm not going to get into that.
Based on, you saw the pictures before you went in. What you saw with your own eyes. What's your reaction to that?
I wasn't coming here to get a reaction. I came here today to gather information, to view the crime scene, to see it for myself. It's one thing to see camera shots and pictures, but I wanted to see exactly where they were able to scale the wall, what door they went out of, how it was secured. I wanted to see the back portion of that toilet area so we can understand how it was defeated, so we can figure out who all was involved in this jailbreak, who assisted, who knew, and when. This is just the beginning of that inquiry.
Did the sheriff join you during this?
Did any of that surprise you?
Nothing is going to surprise me in 2025. I mean, if you look at the city of New Orleans, we've seen a lot of stuff in a few months.
Did the sheriff join you during the tour?
I'm not going to get into who was present. Execution or compromise the work that the AG
Wait.
It's not my job.
Has the cell in question been fixed?
I'm not going to say anything that could compromise the security of the jail or compromise my prosecution or compromise the work that the AG is trying to get done here.
You mentioned that we know that there's been one arrest in this. Who, in the end, in your eyes, is responsible for this?
Certainly more than one person, but we won't get into that right now.
Does the jail feel well staffed today?
Wait.
Issues in there that we've heard a lot about.
I'm not going to get into those questions right now. This was a crime scene visit for me for a case that is under investigation and review by my office.
Does the jail feel well staffed today?
I'm not going to get into that.
Based on, you saw the pictures before you went in. What you saw with your own eyes. What's your reaction to that?
Wait, guys, what part did he mention the Uber?
I wasn't coming here to get a reaction. I came here today to gather information, to view the crime scene, to see it for myself. It's one thing to see camera shots and pictures, but I wanted to see exactly where they were able to scale the wall, what door they went out of, how it was secured. I wanted to see the back portion of that toilet area so we can understand how it was defeated, so we can figure out who all was involved in this jailbreak, who assisted, who knew, and when. This is just the beginning of that inquiry.
Did the sheriff join you during this?
Did any of that surprise you?
Nothing is going to surprise me in 2025. I mean, if you look at the city of New Orleans, we've seen a lot a lot of stuff in a few months.
Did the sheriff join you during the tour?
I'm not going to get into who was present.
Do you anticipate more arrests in the coming week?
Yes.
Why so?
That's all I'm going to say for today. Thanks, everybody.
He just gave you a leak. Yep. He said, do you anticipate any more arrests? He said, I'm not going to say nothing. Somebody's done. Wait a minute.
I'll say I'm not going to and actually see up close and personal. Case, he was always at the crime scene themselves.
Based on what you saw in there, should the sheriff resign?
You've got AG number of inmates taken in the civil, looking at consent
Hold on,
decrees
guys.
on
Just trying to get to it.
Know what you saw.
Comment on it now. This is as we available. Your today was.
Has the cell in question been fixed?
That funding is necessary from what you saw.
It's not my job.
Has the cell in question been fixed or patched up?
I'm not going to get into any subsequent remedial measures. I'm not going to say anything that could compromise the security of the jail or compromise my prosecution or compromise the work that the AG is trying to get done here.
Williams, you mentioned that we know that there's been one arrest in this. Who, in the end, in your eyes, is responsible for this?
Certainly more than one person, but we won't get into that right now.
Does the jail feel well staffed today?
What part would you say? It was another video? Guys, what video was it when it said Uber? Did I miss that?
Through distance.
Jailbreak, 5 of the 10 escapees still on the run. New surveillance video showing 3 of the fugitive inmates in an alley an hour after they all escaped. One of them, convicted killer Derek Groves.
He's proven he's willing to kill.
Meantime, victims of the fugitive inmates on edge. One of them opening up about his concerns while asking ABC to only use his voice.
I was thinking about getting out of town because this guy could come back and look for my address and come in and shoot me, on a couch.
Well, Robin, the suspects are moving too quickly from one hiding place to another. But investigators say the public is helping, including an Uber driver who picked up at least one of the fugitives and then tipped off investigators.
This could be one of the most craziest escapes I've ever heard in a while. How the fuck did one of these... How did one of the inmates get an Uber driver? You have to use the app for that. How did these people get access to so much stuff? They changed their clothes. They manipulated the workers at the facility. The Uber, they got access. How did they... This, you know what? Netflix is working on a documentary. The 10 barnacle heads that escaped. I would have named it like that. You can't give me a contract. I would have named it that. I'll go crazy. The 10 bozos that escaped. But you can't call them that because, guys, they were successful. Is it right for me to call them idiots if they were successful? How did you manipulate people? How did you get an Uber? And I don't blame the Uber. He's doing his job. He doesn't know, guys. He doesn't know. I don't think it's the Uber's fault. Someone knew time, dates, and locations. This, my friend, goes deeper than what we know. I will tell you that. Netflix probably already made the fucking film. They just editing it. They're in post-production. They're in post-production. How the fuck? Yo, what's up? Yo, I just got out of jail. I need you to come pick me up. How the fuck? I don't even want to leave this. I don't want to end this podcast. For some reason, I'm having fun. Chat, this is such a mystery. And I love this. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. Yo, somebody's in trouble. Somebody's in trouble. All right, guys, we got a major update just 15 minutes ago on this case. Orleans DA and AG Liz Murrill toured jail 5-time at large. Chantel with the Big 10 super chat. Let's give her some W's. She said, Nove, a lady paid his Uber. He got dropped off on Morrison Road. I know this because my mom works for Louisiana State Police. She was on scene when Fari police captured. Wow, Chantel. Well, wow. Thank you for that information. I'm surprised you said that publicly, though. But thank you. Wow. Thank you for Chantel. Thank you. Let's give some W's for Chantel, chat. So your mom, okay, so your mom told you this? He got dropped off at Morrison Road? A lady paid for his Uber? Wait, Gary Price? Really? Actually, could be. It was on a news report. This is interesting. Thank you, Chantel, for the super chat. I appreciate that very much. Martinez, thank you for the $1.99. Hi, Martinez. How are you? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Chantel, again, thank you. That's interesting. So, what lady gave him an Uber?
Cast that Attorney General Liz Murrill had wrapped up a tour of the Orleans Parish Jail where that jailbreak happened Friday. She's been speaking outside on the steps ever since. We want to listen in now.
And stable, I think, in terms of its day-to-day operations. I think there's still a lot of things that we need to do.
Are there any inmates still on that first floor?
Ladies and gentlemen, I just posted a TikTok. Well, it's going to post in about like 1 minute. Follow my TikTok. Follow my TikTok. I give latest information, up-to-date information. The post is about to post in 40 seconds. Follow my TikTok. It's Novesity_. That's it. That's it. Hit the like button on that. Share that video and comment. And give me your thoughts, guys. Because your comment is always featured. And I always like, I always like comments. So the video is going to post in 30 seconds. Also, Ruth, thank you for the 200 stars, Ruth. Oh, Ruth is on like a 10-day streak. Ruth, thank you. How are you, Ruth?
What are the charges they're facing generally?
So I don't know. I mean, I don't have.
Did you tour the areas?
I walked around. There are inmates on the first floor. I can answer that question affirmatively. I don't know who they are or why they're here.
Do you have any indication? Has moved any of those inmates that would be considered needing to be under more maximum security to a higher floor?
I mean, I assume that they, and I don't assume it. I know that they told me that they have a management system for managing high-risk inmates. That's part of their population management protocols.
You don't know if there's any of those high-risk individuals like those that escaped on Friday still on that first floor?
I have no individual knowledge of it. I certainly didn't see anybody. I mean, that whole area where the escape occurred there's nobody there that I saw today. It's a different area.
Do you feel like they learned from this and are working well to make sure this doesn't happen again?
Yeah, I do. I mean, has everything changed? Yes and no. I mean, everything has changed in the sense that, we had a very significant escape from this facility. And, in my view, that means everything has changed. And that means everybody needs to change their attitude and their approach to whatever the status quo was before that. At the same time, you still have operations, you still have day-to-day staffing, you still have a lot of protocols and things that are in place. You still have a consent decree that requires very specific conduct and things in this facility. None of that's changed, So, while everything has changed, in some ways, nothing's changed. I do think that, they certainly are very, very closely paying attention to operations here with their existing population.
Some people who know this jail, some people who know this facility have said that this was only a matter of time. Do you feel that way?
I think that, I think there were some conditions in play that certainly contributed to making it conducive to what happening.
We've talked a lot about staffing shortages. Whenever you were in there, did you notice shortages? Do they have any extra guards on duty, just given what happened?
That's a really impossible question to answer, because you're never in all places at all time. I would actually have to sit there and look at not just today, but a week, a month, 6 months, and weekends, and everything else. There's a lot of things that kind of would play into my opinion about that. I just probably can't say.
Is the jail making the proper rounds based on the consent decree and the mandate every 30 minutes?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the monitor and look at the reports that they issue. I've looked at some of those. I know they've done some audits of that and found non-compliance on some of that, but I'm not drilled down on that piece of it yet, on what the historical compliance is. I'm sure they can tell you.
When you toured, did you see any deputies making rounds, cell checks, things like that?
Well, there were deputies on the pods. They're present, they're there. Whether that was true last week, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I wasn't here.
But they were there today.
They were there today.
Have you spoken with the sheriff about how many were, when it happened?
A lot of people are we're all involved in evaluating what was going on when it happened, and so to the extent that it's part of my open investigation, I'm not going to speak to that.
With so many investigations you're investigating, comes Moreno wants investigation, the sheriff says she's doing investigation. How will y'all all come together?
Well, the sheriff's the sheriff's will be and can be concurrent in the sense that she can do administratively what she needs to do administratively. I have a criminal investigation that's underway. I may have conclusions, observations, and recommendations that don't relate to criminal prosecutions. It's based solely on the things that I've seen and the people that I've talked to in the process. But my objective is to conclude that part of the investigation and then hand it off to other people who may have other roles in this process. Certainly the city council will, and there's other people that will. You may end up with legislative hearings and people like that. There's going to be a lot of interest in continuing to dissect what happened, who, what, when, how, where, why. All of those questions will continue to be evaluated, not just by me, but by other people who have decision-making authority.
Did you try to crawl through that hole?
No, it's blocked off now.
So that pod is repaired now. So the toilet is fixed, the cell door is fixed.
No, the whole place, the whole area is not being used right now.
Obviously, back to what you were saying about people are.
Sorry, what were the repairs with the welders who came? What did they?
I don't think that I should speak to that. They have secured the area, and it is a crime scene. So they have secured the area, and I think that's the most important thing. Obviously that's what needed to be done immediately.
Just going back to what you were saying about.
And I have one more question, then I have to leave to go to Baton Rouge.
People are feeling it. You said that.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, what's your message for them? I know we've been talking about it. There are a lot of people who are not feeling safe this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening. What do you tell them?
I tell them to be alert. I think that, when you have we still have 5 escaped inmates who we presume to be armed and dangerous. So I think that everyone should continue to stay alert. If you see something, you should say something. You should absolutely not provide any material assistance to these individuals, because if we will figure that out, we will prosecute you. So, I think that the best thing that anybody can do, if they see something, they should report it so that we can get these people back in custody as soon as possible. And if anybody is, has a particular involvement with one of these individuals and is uncomfortable or fearful, they should reach out to the district attorney's office, to their victim witness coordinator. I will have a point of contact in my office who they can also could also reach out to. But and I think the police department has a victim witness coordinator, and they could reach out to them. But I know that those resources already were urging any individual who is uncomfortable to make sure that they let them know so they could help them.
Do you have a comment on the arrest of State Representative Calvary?
No, I didn't even. When did that happen?
2:44.
Yeah, I've been inside.
Estimated just the resources that are being put into this. I mean, statewide resources, a lot of money. Talk about just the dollar amount it's taking to capture these inmates and the resources statewide that it's taking.
I don't know exactly how much money, but I can tell you it's a lot. I mean, there are a lot of resources that are engaged right now. And what I would say is we should invest on the front end instead of having to expend these resources on the back end. If we can make sure that they get the right locks and hinges on their doors, that's a big deal. Like, that saves us a lot of money on the back end. So, I mean, I think that we shouldn't be kind of, what do they say, a penny wise and a pound foolish? Like, let's invest in what we need to invest to harden this facility for the reality of the population that is managed here. To me, that's kind of an absolute objective for all of us.
I just think it's a lot of overtime.
It is. There's no doubt it's a lot of money. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
See y'all.
Thank you for your generosity. Thank you so much.
Catherine.
They just need a whole new staff.
All right, so we just heard from Attorney General Liz Murrill, who really talked about in depth of what she saw here earlier today as she toured the Orleans Justice Center. She did say that this facility does need many upgrades. She said she saw a lot of cell doors that needed upgrades, and there are a lot of serious violent offenders here at this facility as well. She talked about the process of moving these sentences along, moving the legal process along to get these inmates in state penitentiaries. Now, District Attorney Jason Williams also spoke earlier today. He did not go into depth. He just really said that they're surveying the scene, they're checking out a crime scene, but we do want to listen to the two of them about what they saw here at this facility today.
We toured the facility, the AG and myself. We were able to ask some questions and actually see up close and personal the space, the surrounding space, and the fence where the escape was made. Whether it's a murder case, a rape case, or a jailbreak, prosecutors always need to take a look at the crime scene.
There's a lot of things that need to happen at this facility. There's a lot of things that they were showing me that they've been asking for and explaining to me why they need those things and how, whatever it was designed for in the beginning, it's not serving that purpose now. What some of the special considerations are with different populations of people.
I mean, why is it, guys, I am so sorry for this. Why is it doing that? Sorry about that. All right. This is a video that I really wanted to watch. The 5th inmate and details about him. Yes.
Welcome back. CBS News has obtained new...
guys, we just need 10 more likes on YouTube. 10 more likes. And Chantel, thank you for the information. I appreciate you, Chantel. For real. And, somebody became a member, right? Martinez became a member. You know what, Martinez? You get the horn. Becoming a member. Thank you, Martinez. Welcome to the Novicity Nation Confederation. This is your vacation nation. It's vacation.
Surveillance video of one of the New Orleans jailbreak suspects being taken into custody. Now, this comes as 5 others remain on the loose days after their escape. And we're also learning more prison employees could soon face their own charges. CBS News reporter Katie Weiss joins us now live from New Orleans this morning. Katie, you've been all over this story since it broke. How did this latest arrest come about?
Well, Errol, good afternoon, good morning to you, wherever you might be across the country. For all of our viewers watching, we're actually, yes, getting new visuals from state police showing how they apprehended the 5th of 10 total escapees from that Orleans Parish Justice Center back on Friday. We're now stretching into the 6th day of this manhunt. And despite 5 full days on the run for this guy, he really didn't get far. He was found right here in New Orleans.
Look at him. Look at him.
His name is 19-year-old Corey Boyd. He was arrested here in the city, and then he was flown by state police to a different state correctional facility outside of New Orleans. So far, still 200 officers working on this manhunt, searching for the remaining 5 escaped inmates, and still no word on how that progress is going. We're trying to get more updates from authorities to bring them to you right here on CBS News 24/7.
Yeah, and Katie, there's so much happening in this still unfolding story. I know that it was at about this time yesterday we were reporting on the prison employee who was arrested. What more do we know about him and others who apparently could soon follow?
Yes, so that prison employee was a maintenance worker, 33-year-old Sterling Williams, who, according to an arrest affidavit, did confess to investigators to helping the inmates escape by turning the water off so they could remove a toilet from the wall. But he said he only did that after being threatened with a shank.
Bullcrap.
Now, we know that other prison employees could potentially...
How the fuck you get threatened by a shank and you're on the opposite side of the door? Get out of my face.
...be facing criminal charges as well. So far, at least 3 staff members at the facility have been suspended and others have been reassigned. But the sheriff, she continues to say, at the end of the day, we need money to fix the jail. It's not just our staff. We need help with more money for locks. Take a listen.
Here's
No,
the deal.
we haven't, because we
has
haven't
to be
reconciled
assessed
we haven't reconciled the
fixed.
budget yet.
The building has to be fixed. That's it.
And so, as you can hear, it's getting very tense here in the city about how to fix all of these security breakdowns. Errol?
Yeah, remarkable that the inmates were able to remove a toilet from a wall and run out a hole in the wall they created. So many questions will continue. Katie Weiss, all across this developing story. Katie, thanks so much.
Damn, things are actually getting heated up like this? Shit is getting really serious, chat. Really serious. All right, Jazz. Who would be the next one, chat? Jazz, I'm telling you, $50, he's not going to be it. No, you and me, let's lose together. Let's get $100 beans into a prison lock, trust fund, and shit. Oh, fuck out of here. Jazz, you... Yo, I'm dead. What? Hell no, girl. They're not even worth that. They're not even worth 100 beans. They're not even worth that. Hell no. Hell no. They're not even worth that. That's funny. That's funny. Thank you, Jazz, for the 5. I appreciate that. Who's going to be next, chat? Place your bets. 45, 45, 45, 46, 47, 49, 49, 41, 41, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 44, 45, 45, 45, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, come on now, 55, 55, 55, 55, 65, 65, 60, 60, 60, 60, 65. I don't know how they do that, chat. I don't know how they do that. All right, Jazz. So the deal was he's going to be last. I don't think he's going to be last. I do not think he's going to be last. You think he's going to be last. So we shaking on it? Okay, deal. Shake on it. All right, cool. That's done. All right. All right, chat. Wait, what? Wait, they're using AI tech. Wait, chat. Look at this. Guys, look at this. Yo. Look at this. What is look at this. Look.
One of these inmates.
Wait, look at this. Wait, what is this? Look.
Facial recognition technology was supposed to be a tool, but in New Orleans, it's become more of a flashpoint. Nick Smith joins us now with the details. And Nick, this technology is the focus of a fierce debate there, despite it being used and successfully, right?
No, Jazz. The deal was, I thought we already shook on it.
Capturing one of these inmates on the run.
One of these inmates.
The deal was, you think Derek will be last. I do not. Deal or no deal?
10 were on the run, and facial recognition technology has been successful in the capture, and that's part of the debate. Inmates are still on the run this morning. Okay. Questions are swirling, however, about police use of AI facial recognition technology and whether the city bent the rules in order to catch these criminals. It's technology that can spot a face in a crowd. But in New Orleans, it's the police department that's in the spotlight. Real-time facial recognition, used through a private camera network called Project NOLA, is now at the center of a heated debate. Police say it helped identify 2 of the 10 men who escaped from the Orleans Justice Center, but 5 remain at large. And the cameras?
This is the exact reason why facial recognition technology is so critical.
Now under fire after reports officers use them without required oversight or city approval. Critics complain the technology alone is flawed.
They misidentified dark-skinned women and trans individuals about 3 times more than any other demographic, in addition to the fact that it continuously costs taxpayers within our city money. Those cameras and surveillance technology is not RoboCop. It's a reactionary tool that does not prevent crime.
The rules were clear when it was implemented in 2022. Only for violent crimes, only with human review.
The amendment also provides additional safeguards that the technology cannot be used as probable cause for arrest.
But according to the ACLU, officers were getting live alerts right to their phones with no documentation or disclosure. Privacy advocates say
that's crazy.
It's a dangerous loophole.
That is crazy. So they're using AI technology that might look like somebody because AI isn't 100%. I just had an argument with my AI assistant today. I was telling her about Kyle Schwarber, how many home runs he hit this month from the Phillies. She was giving me wrong information over 10 times in under 5 minutes. So they're depending on AI to assist them rather than going based on information. So that's dangerous shit because they could detain or bother or confront the wrong people without signing off a warrant or anything. They just get prompts on their phone that says, oh, well, we believe it looks like this guy. So I agree. That is a little risky.
Why should everybody have to go through hoops to maintain their own privacy? Shouldn't it be the suspects who are under scrutiny, not everybody? The balance hasn't been reached yet.
Now, Marky, to be clear, the technology was paused last month, but in a city still searching for escapees. Some officials say it works and it should stay. But the question lingers, is it a case of technology serving justice or is it stepping on the civil rights of others?
All right, Nick, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now.
Ooh. Oh, man. Nah, I argue with her because she was pissing me off. You're missing the entire point. Facial recognition is some Chinese BS. You talking to me? I don't understand. I don't understand. He hit 100 in season now. You said Schwarber hit 100 home runs this season, Jazz? Achilles, you want to take that conversation to Discord just to be a little more private? She's in Discord. You guys could talk about that, what you're asking in Discord privately. Hopefully she is protection. Yeah. Yeah, there's still 5 people out, Sugar Wife. Yes. He just hit his 300 home run. No, she said this season. This season, Kyle only hit 17 home runs. Along with Ohtani and Aaron Judge hit 16. Yeah. All right, chat. I think we have a lot of information for today on this case. It's insane. You know what, guys? I'm not gonna lie with you. I think I may even do another one on this because this is so interesting. Oh, they did.
We have the latest on that fast developing story of the.
Oh, they did a full breakdown on this case. Oh, should we watch this, chat? You know what? Should we watch this or should I just do another podcast? Damn, they did a whole segment on this. Yeah, they did a whole segment on this, chat. Oh, I think I want to watch this. Oh, man. You know what? Nah. We good. I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it, guys. I'm gonna call it because I'm sick and I gotta get some food in me. I'm still sick. And I'm so hungry. It's okay, Achilles. Don't worry about it. No, the season he hit 17 home runs. Where he got money for Uber? Don't know. Somebody did it for him. There's no way he just either he got a phone or access to. I doubt it though. Someone got that from him. Chantel said it was a female. So, yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. I really appreciate you so much. And please, guys, I just posted a TikTok. Go watch it right now. Like it, comment, and share right when I end this podcast. And then I'm gonna post it also, YouTube, whatever. And like and subscribe, guys. If you're brand new to the stream, I would appreciate that. We cover true crime and trending topics here in University. All right. And look out for the next. Join the Discord. Join the Discord, guys, because people are still wondering, I can't get notifications. Well, if you join the Discord, you get 100% of notifications. Just don't mute Discord. Just go to notification settings and put @only. So you only get my @ and then I will tell you when I'm going on. All right. Go eat. You can watch later. Okay, Heather, you got it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for becoming members. Martinez, Peyton. Thank you guys for sending super chats. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Bree, for modding. I appreciate you. Love you guys. And like always, do good and die great. And I'll see you on the next one.